Graziano's leaving on a jet plane right after the show today. He is Vegas bound. Jeff is handing out season-ending today. And Louis Riddick is up and ready to go, and his scouting has begun. We are 5 days away from Super Bowl 58. Let's start with some keys to victory. Jeff, what do you have your eyes on? San Francisco, Kansas City.
San Fran run game. McCaffrey is going to be the answer to all the questions. Listen, when they get in their 21 and 22 personnel group, 2 tight ends, 1 back, 2 tight ends, 2 backs, they are physical. Guess what? Kansas City, 28 in the league against those looks. They're going to have to live in it. Don't be like Baltimore and try to throw it around. Run the rock. Get it into a victory.
All right, defensive personnel. Graz, what is your key to this game?
Yeah, the Chiefs defense. Look, they're going to have to come up with a solution for McCaffrey in that 49ers run game. They've been the story of the season for the Chiefs. Best defense Mahomes has had since he became the starter there. And Steve Spagnuolo, their defensive coordinator, has shown an ability to design playoff game winning and Super Bowl winning game plans. I'm sure he's got something in mind for Jeff's guy McCaffrey.
Kyle Shanahan against Steve Spagnuolo. Now that is a heavyweight battle. Talk to me, Louis Riddick. What's your key to victory?
It's about tackling. It's always about the fundamentals at this time of year. Why is that? Both Isaiah Pacheco and Christian McCaffrey are top 10 in yards after contact per rush. They're number 7 and number 8. Christian McCaffrey has over 40 runs of plus 10 yards. If you don't get these guys on the ground, you're going to have a long day. And on top of it, remember how many tight end screens that Kansas City ran against Baltimore in the title game, in the AFC title game? You better tackle him in the open field. Because if not, they're going to possess the ball and just move it down the football field. Both of these teams can do both the same thing.
All right, we're looking forward to the game, obviously, in so many ways. And the teams were there last night for media night. And as is not always the case, some pretty interesting stuff came out of there. Let's start with Patrick Mahomes, who was asked about the topic everyone is debating. Has he passed Tom Brady as the greatest of all time?
I mean, I'm not even close to halfway, so I haven't put a lot of thought into it. I mean, your goal is to be the best player that you can be. I know I'm blessed to be around a lot of great players around me. And so right now it's doing whatever I can to beat a great 49ers team and trying to get that 3rd ring. And then if you ask me that question in like 15 years, and I'll see if I can get close to 7, but 7 seems like a long ways away still.
What do you think of that, Jeff?
Love it. I mean, what perspective? It's real. Like, why are we trying to talk about his legacy? We ain't even got number 3 yet. We got in 5 days, we got number 3. We got to go take care of that first. I love his attitude, man. That plays as well as it can play in the locker room for his teammates. I just love what he says.
And look, it just adds to what there is to like about him. We were watching his career unfold. The fact that we're having this conversation means we should be stepping back and enjoying it.
Absolutely.
And the fact that he can deliver that kind of perspective says an awful lot about him. And the thing that I thought when listening to it, I wonder how much of that perspective is a result of his success, and how much of his success is a result of him being that kind of guy that can keep things in perspective like that. And I have a hunch it might be more the latter.
Which, Louis Riddick, you know everybody there so well, your connections to the organization. Which is it?
Yeah, it's the latter, Dan. You hit it dead on. He's always been like this from day one. And see, that's the thing when you're talking about quarterback evaluation. You never quite know how these guys are going to react once you get them in-house, and then they wind up having some success, and they wind up becoming the guy. Are they able to stay hungry? Are they able to continue to do the work once they start to climb the mountain? Once some people start going ahead and already filling their head with what Nick Saban calls rat poison, right? They start telling about how good they are and how great they are, and we're already talking about Patrick Mahomes as one of the best to ever do it. But he doesn't care. He says this all the time. Hey, let you guys talk about it. You have fun with it on Get Up. You have fun with it on SportsCenter. You have fun with it all you want. I'm trying to just go ahead and continue this process day by day. He learned from some of the very best to ever do it there in terms of coaches and guys who are professionals like Alex Smith. And so this is just another stepping stone for him. And quite honestly, look, I think when you look at it, man, yeah, he's going for number 3. Brady's got 7 of them things, man. 7. Oof. That's a lot.
7.
You know what? As Louis was just talking, it reminded me. Remember when he throws the ball to MVS and he's like, I got to take a little more off of it, right? And we were all like defending him. There's no way. And then in the AFC Championship, he does. He takes a little bit off. He makes the catch. They clinch it, all that kind of stuff. But it just goes back to the fact that he takes everything on himself. He never passes the buck, passes blame, does whatever. And I think That speaks, again, it speaks volumes in a locker room, man. When he doesn't have to lose his mind on his teammates, because we all sure were, about the drops, about the inconsistency, and he just keeps plugging along, man. But it's that perspective that teammates want to go play for. Sure. Like the guy didn't undress me when he could have. I got his back next time, or whatever the thought process comes up. And as he's talking about that, I'm thinking to myself, bro, I mean, it is special to have that type of mentality as a player in the midst of all this.
This is the pass that you're talking about. Yeah. Again, MVS had dropped one that looked a lot like this.
Just like it.
In that terrible loss against the Eagles. And then Mahomes literally does just take a little bit off at this time.
Well, because
this clinches the Super Bowl.
You know your guys, right? Like MVS had a hard time catching that ball stretched out in front of him with his hands, so you give him the opportunity to use his body, and and you don't need a touchdown there. Right. All you needed was a first down to win the AFC.
Right.
And that's what they did. Look, I mean, I think being the son of a Major League Baseball player, having been around professional athletes at a young age, I think that helps. I think that's certainly far from the first time we've seen that be the case. Yeah. And I just think, he's a guy that, to Jeff's point, he sees it as his responsibility to find the solution.
Yeah.
Not just for the team, but for his guys.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to help make you better.
That's right.
Because that's better for the team, and that's part of my responsibility as the guy who's the center of all of this.
Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, look, he is living, breathing proof, or an example of exactly what every GM and scout and head coach and coordinator is looking for in terms of a guy who can elevate others around him. Like, we use that cliche a lot, right? We're saying we're always looking for quarterbacks and or leaders who make other people better. Well, they don't necessarily make them better as much as they make those people want to hold themselves to a higher standard, simply because you saw in the quarterback special that Patrick did for Netflix, you saw the kind of things that this guy puts himself through during the season. Like, I'm sitting there watching that special and I'm going, how in the hell does he have that much time during a day, during the regular season, to put in all of that extra work? And he's taking his wife with him, he's taking his daughters with his kids with him, and he's constantly trying to figure out ways to make himself better. And when you see that kind of thing, look, you have one or two choices to make as a teammate. You either can match it or you fall behind. Mm-hmm. And considering what they have done already and the things that they've accomplished, do you really want to be the guy who falls behind? Do you really want to be the guy who people are looking at going, the best cat on our team is dragging his family around trying to make himself better? And what are you doing? Playing video games? Doing what? Hanging out there? What are you doing? You don't want to be that guy. And if you do want to be that guy, you're probably not going to be there very long anyway. That's what every team is looking for. Yeah. That dude right there.
That's the Netflix quarterback special.
Yeah.
That's also The Last Dance. I mean, if you think about it, if you want to ask who does this remind you of, it reminds you, number 15 reminds me a lot of number 23. Yeah.
And then to go smaller picture, like to the game, the guy here reminds me of is a guy I covered, Derek Jeter, who I always felt like was not a player who raised his game in the big moments, but a player who kept himself exactly the same in the big moments.
That's right.
Moments that made other people play worse or panic. Yeah. And I think Mahomes' ability what you hear in that news conference, his ability to keep his focus on what's in front of him and not worry about all that other stuff, I think that is a key part of the reason he's so successful. Look, as he continues to have success, as he continues to win, we're going to hear the outside noise saying, oh, he gets too much, he's overhyped. He's not.
No.
He's not.
He is as far from that as he can possibly be. Not only that, but just to sort of put a ribbon on this, he says, ask me that in 15 years. In 15 years, he'll be 43 years old. Tom Brady won his 7th Super Bowl when he was 43 years old. So Mahomes certainly has more than ample time to get there. In the meantime, he's talking about things in which he is an expert. His coach, Andy Reid, was talking about things in which he is an expert. Here's his definitive list of the top cheeseburgers.
Oh, yeah.
Top 3 cheeseburgers. Oh, my goodness. We can go across the street, get an In-N-Out burger. Tommy's, Los Angeles. Yeah, we'll throw Hawkins in there. Where's Five Guys? Five Guys is up there.
So now we're wading into controversial territory.
Very. People get very upset about this.
Talk to me about In-N-Out Burger.
Overrated. Overrated.
Oh,
Listen,
no.
everybody, overrated.
R.I.P. You're mentioned.
Every time we go out there, we put it on the plane flying back home. You're going to eat it. It's like, wait. I mean, come on. I mean, it's everybody out west. That's the best ever. All that. Come on.
Yeah, Andy's a California guy. Like, he's going to line up. I personally, I enjoy the In-N-Out Burger a great deal. It's never let me down. But I understand, like, if I tweet about it or whatever, like, people jump on you. Oh, it's overrated. It's this and this and this. Like, come on.
Lewis?
It's good. Enjoy it.
It's Five Guys all day, man. It's Five Guys. And I'll tell you what, you know what's even worse to me about In-N-Out Burger? Like the French fries, they just taste like some kind of substance. They don't even have any taste to them.
What's that with that?
I'm just telling you. They just do. It is, man. Look, hey, you know what? I know it must be an East Coast, West Coast thing. I don't know what it is, but Five Guys kills it.
Who are we to argue with Andy Reid?
Andy Reid, I will say this. Andy Reid's commercials.
He's like a sommelier.
His commercials too.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn tô màu sản phẩm con bướm đêm. Bây giờ chúng ta cùng bắt đầu nào.
Chặt đeo thì nó đã yêu. Mình sẽ đi chọn bò để tô trong chanh mình các bạn theo dõi quá trình tô bò nhé. Hết pin rồi, sạc pin rồi. Cái đồng bò này định mẹ mình từ chiều đến giờ bố mình mới sạc. Kể cả chúng mày 10% tao cũng sạc. Sạc không sạc bây giờ lúc bố mày hết pin lại bắt đầu rồi xài phun rồi. Giờ thì anh đã can đảm để xa em không nhé em ơi sẽ chuyên đỡ anh về rồi nó vẫn nhiều chậm khỏe thì như bây giờ nhưng chân là đó là như cá tôm chúng nó nhiều chậm ổ chứ chậm phần chậm bát rồi. Rồi là mình đã đi tôm màu xong các bạn tính tôm màu đẹp hay tôm xinh màu lai, tôm cây, tất cả các bạn rất là nhiều. Như vậy là mình đã hoàn thành xong bức tranh của mình rồi các bạn ạ. Các bạn thấy đẹp thì hãy cho mình xin like và đăng ký kênh để ủng hộ mình nhé. Mình cảm ơn các bạn rất là nhiều. Tạm biệt các bạn.
Xin chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại với kênh YouTube của mình. Video ngày hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn tô màu sản phẩm con ruồi đen. Bây giờ chúng ta cùng bắt đầu nào.
Mình sẽ đi kiếm màu để tìm màu để tô cho bức tranh của mình các bạn ạ. Các bạn theo dõi quá trình mình đi tô màu nhé. Cảm ơn các bạn. Vào buổi sáng hôm sau bình yên như chưa yêu nhau, giờ thì anh đã can đảm để rời xa em rồi. Đừng khóc nhé em người ơi, mình chung đôi anh vẫn nữa sẽ là người ta yêu giờ đã cứ phải bên nhau. Anh đã thấy em đi với ai rồi, anh đã thấy từng người mà em đã đi khi về đêm. Anh đã thấy phấn son rồi, dây cao gót nước hoa thức ngắt sẽ phải thứ ta người.
Nhưng mai nghỉ thật chứ này. Mai mình nghỉ đúng không? Thì đơn phòng đơn một phòng.
Mạnh bạn đỡ đâu nào.
Nó chỉ rồi gì anh Cường.
Nó hiểu gì đó.
Về đi
Nó hiểu gì đó nó được.
Tao dậy đi thôi.
Dỗi luôn. Dỗi luôn. Bố mày dỗi luôn. Mẹ nhờ với bố mày trêu bố dỗi luôn.
Mẹ ngang từ đầu đến cuối dỗi.
Anh thích lắm để mẹ thằng nào nó hay dỗi nha. Anh đọc cái chiều. Mẹ càng dỗi anh càng chiều. Thì mẹ chơi với anh thì càng dỗi anh càng chiều. Cho nó khỏi bớt cái tính dỗi đi. Mà cảm thấy không chơi được nữa thì cút con bạ mày này. Dỗi với bố mày. Cho phép dỗi.
Không bao giờ có người yêu đâu.
Những thằng như câu mẹ mẹ là những thằng chó chết. Mẹ sợ người yêu dỗi hơn là sợ bạn bè dỗi. Bạn như thế không, tình yêu như thế không được lâu đâu công ạ. Anh bảo thật mà, như thế không yêu được lâu đâu. Mình yêu mà mình cứ sợ người khác dỗi, sợ người yêu dỗi, sợ đối phương dỗi mà mình kể cả mình đúng nhưng mà mình cứ sợ người ta dỗi, sợ mất người ta không được lâu đâu. Như vậy là mình đã hoàn thành xong bức tranh. Các bạn đã đẹp thế cho mình xin lượt like, lượt đăng ký kênh. Cảm ơn các bạn rất là nhiều. Tạm biệt các bạn.